Hi, Joel Rollins here for Rave Radio, and I'm here with Paul Richards, who's Business Development Manager for PTZOptics, a company that I'm just learning about. As a matter of fact, Paul, why don't you tell us a little about the company?
Sure. So we are a pan-tilt zoom camera manufacturer, and
Hence the PTZ.
hence the PTZOptics, where we specialize in high-quality optics and high-quality video outputs, which are most likely simultaneous on our cameras.
Oh, well, the optics influence I really love. I'm a photographer, and one of the phrases that we use around the office is, it's all about glass. It really is, because you're buying pickups from same people, right? The question is, how much can you optimize the system? You have a really interesting product line. Especially with the multiple output stuff. I mean, obviously, I run an integrator in New York, and we are, obviously doing suddenly lots of huddle rooms, and of course the hot words UVC.
Yes.
How long have you been doing this?
UVC and specifically, or the camera manufacturer?
The camera manufacturer.
So we've been in business since 2013, roughly, and so that would give us just about 3 years now. We were at InfoComm last year, and we were in the innovation stage. So there's an innovation center where smaller companies can get started, and it was a really small 10 by 10 booth, but we met a lot of people, and that's when we released the HuddleCam Air, which is the world's first wireless USB pan-tilt zoom camera, and we've gone a long way since then. Now our booth is actually a 20 by 20 right next to Blue Jeans. And we have a huge booth, and it's going to be a fun live streaming event. One
of the things I noticed that I thought was really interesting, and correct me if I'm wrong, but you have one of the fuller UVC implementations that I've seen, including control, which a lot of people are only passing signal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so with UVC over the USB 3.0 channel on definitely the PTZOptics cameras, but also we're just building it into the Gen 3 huddle cams, that will allow for pan-tilt zoom control. Also, some other things like iris control, and then, of course, we can pass the video signal as well.
Sure. You're in kind of a booming field. If you look at it, I've been selling video conferencing for about 20 years. And, obviously, PTZ cameras were things that we did, but you bought them with the codec, right? You bought Cisco's camera or Polycom's camera, whichever. But there have been, some of the lines like yours, and yours is one of the fuller ones I've seen, that have introduced a lot of features that actually have me now considering, okay, but do I really, really want the Polycom Eagle Eye, or do I want to adapt another camera? Mm-hmm. Give me some of the reasons that you're giving people to do that.
Yeah, well, you know what? Interestingly enough, the most requested feature is the open source software. Open source is a big buzzword.
Sure, yeah.
People love open source, and we have gone completely open source with all of our camera controls. So we've done that since day one. Right. So over the evolution of, not us honestly, additional engineers, I can name some of them, but who have contributed to the open source library. Right. And it's on GitHub, and it actually has become
that's what open source is all about.
A very big thing, and it's the most requested feature, and almost none of our competitors are offering open source.
Right, okay, so you're using open source, and obviously you disclose the licenses that you use of other people's.
Exactly.
And that's excellent. And you're contributing to the open source libraries yourself.
That's correct.
I like that a lot, actually.
We have a young group of engineers who love creating new things, and it's really a value add to the camera. So it's just little projects people are adding, and everyone is.
Where are you located?
We're located in Downingtown, Pennsylvania, which is about half hour, 45 minutes from Philadelphia, and 2 hours from New York City.
Sure, yeah, and I live in Southern Connecticut, so yeah, so you're right in the neighborhood. I actually get down your way to see AMX quite a lot.
Oh yeah.
So, okay, are you through distribution or direct dealerships?
Through distribution. So currently, it's very interesting. We started off with the unified communication space, Stereo AV, Stanford Global, but actually we're having much more success in the broadcast industry. So Broadfield distributing is yes, and it would be surprising.
Cable or true broadcast?
Actually, there's a whole new market emerging of just small one-man broadcast studios all the way up to colleges who are just setting it up themselves, going all USB because it just makes sense to them.
Sure.
They're just plugging USB cameras into their Mac Minis or whatever they have and running, let's say, Wirecast or some people.
I'm a big Wirecast fan. I'm a dealer.
Are great.
Yeah, I'm a TriCaster dealer too.
Lots of good stuff out there, but these little studios are just popping up all over the place.
Yeah, that's great stuff. Okay, so You have a line, and you just described two different divisions. You have PTZOptics cameras, and what was the other one?
And HuddleCam HD.
Okay, and what's the difference there?
So PTZOptics is geared toward this new broadcast market that we talked about.
Right.
HuddleCam HD is specifically for the unified communication space, just USB, whereas with the PTZOptics, we're building the things that broadcasters want.
Okay. Are you, I mean, and this is a question where you don't have to answer if you don't want to. Are you also building these cameras for other people?
Well, I can say that on our website we do offer white labeling.
Okay.
So I will say that live while we're being recorded. But yeah.
So if a company's out there, say, developing a full suite kind of huddle package, they could talk to you about that camera.
Certainly, yes. And we do work through distribution now, and some of our distributors actually do things along those lines as well.
Now you mentioned Starin.
Yes.
Right. Are there others?
Starin, Stampede Global.
Okay.
We mentioned them, and we mentioned Broadfield.
Right.
There are a few more. I don't work with them all. I'm the business development manager. We have a partner manager who works with them daily.
Okay. Okay. So you're a business development manager. You'd be working with dealers and distributors.
Yes.
Okay. Where would they find you here at the show?
We are at booth 2133. That is right next to Blue Jeans, right behind Starleaf.
Okay.
It's a popular spot, really cornered by Polycom, Starleaf, Blue Jeans. And yeah, we've got a live streaming area with a green screen. So we're going to be live streaming to YouTube Live the entire event.
Oh, great.
We're also using a TriCaster Mini, and we have a direct LAN connection between the TriCaster booth here in Central Hall and our booth in North Hall. So that allows us to do the NewTek NDI. And so our cameras they can use, we can use their cameras. So we're actually going to have access to over 20 live streaming cameras and 3 user-selectable video streams. So we'll have a TriCaster Mini streaming, a Wirecast box streaming, and I will be streaming with vMix from my laptop. So that's 3 live streams that the users from YouTube will be able to select between, plus 20 cameras, and we will be video conferencing with Zoom, and that will allow
Another popular and growing format.
That will allow 50 more video feeds, and that's something that a lot of people don't realize is that Zoom allows you to right-click and make 720p video feed full screen, selecting between 50 cameras from anywhere in the world. So add that to the broadcast scene, that's never unheard of.
I like Zoom only because it seems uncomplicated too.
It's very easy to use.
Yeah, great. What was that booth number again?
2133 North Hall.
Great. Definitely stop by and see this because I certainly am going to.